Accept the pain. Smile at the pain. Embrace the pain. Because pain is not your enemy, it's the gatekeeper of destiny. It stands in front of everything you've ever wanted, demanding an answer to one simple question. Do you really want to achieve your goals, or are you just another talker? Because talk is cheap. And pain. Pain exposes the difference between those who dream and those who execute. Pain is the toll for every level you want to reach. You don't get stronger without it. You don't get sharper without it. Every man who has ever walked this earth and accomplished something worth remembering had to suffer for it. That's the unspoken rule of the universe. You don't get the prize without paying the price. You don't get the reward without the sacrifice. The question is, do you have the guts to endure it every time you feel pain? It's pain asking you, are you serious? Are you committed? Are you willing to push through, or will you fold like every other weak man who lets discomfort dictate his future? Pain is the test. Pain is the filter that separates the strong from the weak, and only the few, the rare, the relentless, make it through. Look at history's greatest example of suffering, Jesus Christ. Betrayed, abandoned, mocked, tortured, and crucified, he endured unthinkable agony. The crown of thorns digging into his scalp, the lashes ripping flesh from his back, the nails driven into his hands and feet, and the suffocating agony of hanging on a cross. The physical torment was immense, but the weight of carrying the sins of the world added an unimaginable spiritual burden. And yet, through all of it, he never broke, never gave in. He embraced the pain, carried his cross, and fulfilled his destiny. His suffering was not just endured, it was transformed into the greatest act of redemption in history. Pain refined him, and through it, he left a mark that will never be erased. But the lesson here isn't just about faith, it's about endurance. It's about what happens when a man refuses to surrender, refuses to give up, even when the weight of the world is pressing down on him. Most people fold under the smallest inconvenience. They quit when things get tough. They run when pain enters the picture. But those who embrace suffering, who take pain and forge it into their strength, those are the ones who rise above the rest. Pain will strip you down. It will break you open. It will force you to confront who you really are. No masks, no lies, just raw, exposed truth. And that's where real transformation happens. You can't level up without shedding the weaker version of yourself. That process is violent, it's unforgiving, and it hurts. But if you stand firm, if you refuse to break, if you endure when every part of you screams to quit, then pain will build the stairway to the top, step by step, trial by trial, suffering by suffering. It will carve the path for you. Not because it wants to destroy you, but because it's refining you. Because only the worthy can stand at the summit. You have to start seeing pain for what it really is. A tool. The greatest warriors, the most legendary kings, the men who carved their names into history all understood this. Genghis Khan, who endured the brutal hardship of being abandoned as a child, hunted like an animal, and still built the largest empire the world had ever seen. Alexander the Great, who fought through wounds, exhaustion, and betrayal, and still conquered the known world before the age of 30. The Spartans, who trained their bodies and minds from childhood to embrace suffering so that they would never be weak in battle. Every single one of them embraced the pain, because they understood that only those willing to suffer deserve to stand above the rest. And here you are, afraid of a little discomfort, complaining because things are tough, letting setbacks define you. What do you think separates you from the men who built empires? It isn't just talent. It isn't just intelligence. It's the willingness to suffer for what they wanted, the willingness to pay the price. You either suffer now for your goals, or you suffer later for your regrets. There is no in-between. Every rep in the gym, every extra hour at work, every sacrifice you make to push forward, that is the cost of greatness. And if you aren't willing to endure that cost, you don't deserve the reward. Pain isn't something you avoid. It's something you conquer. When the world beats you down, when life feels like it's testing you beyond your limit, when every fiber of your being wants to quit, that's when you smile. That's when you dig deep and say, I was built for this. Because the weak will fall, the average will retreat. But you will rise. Most people will never understand this because most people are comfortable. They are addicted to their own mediocrity. They crave easy paths, shortcuts, and painless routes to success that do not exist. But those who truly dominate, they know that pain is their most powerful ally. It hardens them, it sharpens them, it makes them lethal in a world full of softness. Every time you push past your limits, you are stepping into a rare breed of men, the kind who do not flinch when hardship strikes, the kind who do not bow under pressure, the kind who take pain and use it as fuel to obliterate any obstacle in their way. Weak men fear pain. Strong men forge themselves in it. This is why your mindset is everything. The body follows where the mind leads. If your mind is weak, you will crumble. If your mind is conditioned to endure, your body will obey. The mind of a warrior is not built in comfort. It is built in the fire of suffering. Every time you choose discomfort over ease, every time you take one more step when your body begs you to stop, you are training your mind to dominate. So the next time you feel that fire burn inside you, don't run from it. Run into it. Smile at it. Embrace it. Pain is not the obstacle. Pain is the way. And when you come out on the other side, when you look back at everything you endured, you'll realize something most people never will. You were never just going through pain. You were becoming something through it. And that is why you will win.